Younger brother, Scott Hudson. Scott passed away a few years ago. He's going to present it tonight. He wants to say a few words. This is his younger brother, Billy. I just got a few things to say about Scott Hudson. I think he was probably the best athlete that ever came through here. A physical specimen and just gifted. I can remember a few years ago because I got to know a guy pretty good from the Commonwealth League and coaching at Tingsboro, John Driscoll down in Northeast Regional, saying, you know, I remember you, Tansy, and I remember Scott Hudson. He said, you know, Scott Hudson was like playing against Jim Thorpe. And I can remember, you know, your teams keep stats and whatnot. I remember we had to kick a ball, and Scotty was our punter, and he had a 73-yard punt. That in the air, not a roll, a 73-yard punt in the air. And I remember John saying, it was, that kid kicked the ball 73 yards in the air. I can remember my senior year, our big rival, as it developed over the years, was Tingsboro High School. And we played them many a year Thanksgiving morning, but that always was a big game for us all the time. And I can remember my senior year, we ended up beating them 11-8. And actually it was Scott Hudson 11 in Tingsboro 8. Because Scott Hudson had a nice quarterback draw for a long touchdown, and Scott Hudson rushed the extra point, and then in the crunch time of the game, Scott Hudson kicked the field goal. And just a great, he played quarterback, played halfback. I still think he owns the discus record here. He was the first kid after his senior year. He had his number retired here, number 24, just because he was just a phenomenal athlete. You know, Scotty and Tommy, just great kids, just blessed with athletes. His younger brother Bill would like to come up and say a few words.
I'd like to accept this award on behalf of my brother. I'm sure he's looking down on us and saying, sorry, it's about time. My brother's number one sport was football. He did play hockey and track. I'd like to thank our parents who always challenged us to be better. My stepfather, my father, and my mother. My father used to take game films for our family. And the football program actually used these films for game preparation. It wasn't one of these small little handheld cameras. It was probably this big. It was heavy. And it wasn't easy to do. I'm sure he's looking down on us and smiling and shouting, way to go, Scotty. My mom, she actually disliked football. She always encouraged us. One day during the game, Scott got injured, and my mom jumped out of her seat, ran to the field, and got to Scott before the trainers. So that was her take on football. She always wanted this. At the time, Middleton High School had a huge football program. My brother was in 8th grade. They relentlessly tried to recruit Scott, but I think his older brother Tommy had a little more influence on him. Besides, it was an opportunity for them to play together. As a freshman, Scott started varsity offense, defense, and special teams. As a sophomore, he was a starting varsity quarterback, safety, and special teams. It was his junior year season when he really shined. He hit the weight room hard. He was starting running back, middle linebacker. He kicked off, punted, and kicked field goals. He was exceptional at all of these positions. And I don't think he came out of the game for a second. There were no breathers. He made all the plays around him better. By the middle of his junior year and throughout his senior year, he was double teamed, if not triple teamed. I can remember sitting in the stands at each game, listening to the opposing team's coaches screaming, "Watch out for Hudson! Cover Hudson! Block Hudson!" And the opposing fans of this team screaming, "Get Hudson!" No disrespect intended towards his teammates, but if you stopped Hudson, you could pretty much stop the team. He was the first player in the Nashoba history to ever have a number retired. And we have this shirt in the case, and we're going to try to work on, hopefully, getting it hung up here sometime. There's no doubt, in my mind, if he continued to play football, he could have made a Division I college team. However, with a trade in plumbing, he chose that path instead. In closing, I'd like to thank Nashoba Tech for this night. It's brought back some wonderful memories. Thank you.
And I'm going to call back Mr. Antonetti to